We are at video number 0043. Attachment is the cause of suffering. Point number one, what is attachment? Attachment is not the same as love. Love is pure, free, and unconditional. But attachment is love mixed with dependency, expectation, and fear of loss. When you are attached, you say, I cannot be happy unless this person, this object, or this situation remains exactly as I want it. Attachment ties your peace of mind to something outside you. And because everything outside you is temporary, changeable, and beyond your control, you plant the seeds of your own suffering. A student is asking a question. So, is it wrong to care for people and things? The Guru replies, no, to care is noble, to love is divine. But when care turns into clinging and when love turns into possession, you trap yourself. Point number two, how attachment leads to suffering. How attachment leads to suffering. The Bhagavad Gītā describes a chain of downfall. Number one, attachment arises when the mind constantly dwells on objects of desire. Number two, from attachment comes desire. I must have it. Number three, when desire is blocked, it creates anger. Why can't I get it? 4. Anger clouds judgment, leading to confusion of memory and loss of wisdom. 5. The person becomes a slave pulled helplessly by emotions. 6. Finally, this leads to misery and self-destruction. Do you see? One small seed of attachment can grow into a tree of suffering. Number 3, the illusion of permanence. The world is ever changing. People, possessions, situations, even our bodies, all are temporary. Yet we cling as though they are permanent. You hold on tightly to wealth, but it can vanish overnight. You cling to youth, but time will age the body. You cling to relationships, but people change and life is uncertain. When the inevitable change occurs, the attached heart breaks. The wise one, however, loves without clinging and remains at peace amidst change. Point number 4, the Gita's call for detachment. Detachment does not mean coldness or indifference, it means freedom. A lotus flower grows in muddy water. A lotus flower grows in muddy water but remains untouched by it. In the same way, Live in this world, love all, serve all, but do not bind your peace to outcomes. Do your duty sincerely, but surrender the fruits of your actions to the divine. This is the essence of Karma Yoga, acting with full dedication but without attachment to results. Point number 5, practical wisdom for daily life. How do we apply this teaching in everyday life? Let me give you some simple examples. At work, do your best, but do not tie your self-worth to success or failure. Results are not fully in your control. In relationships, love deeply, but without controlling or possessing the other. Allow them to grow and be free with possessions. Enjoy what you have, but do not let your happiness depend on them. They are meant to serve you, not enslave you. With life's ups and downs, accept change with a steady mind. Pain and pleasure, success and failure, praise and blame, all are passing waves on the ocean of existence. Point number 6, the fruit of detachment. When you loosen the grip of attachment, you discover something marvelous. A mind at peace, free from constant anxiety. A heart that loves purely without fear of loss. A spirit that remains balanced no matter what life brings. A joy that arises from within, independent of external circumstances. This is true freedom. This is inner liberation. Understand this: attachment is the chain that binds you to sorrow. Break this chain with the sword of wisdom. Love without clinging. Act without selfish expectation. Live in the world but remain above it, like the lotus on water. Then, and only then, will you taste the nectar of peace that no change, no loss, no death can ever disturb. This is the eternal teaching of the Bhagavad Gītā. In the Bhagavad Gītā, Lord Krishna teaches that attachment, our emotional clinging to people, things, outcomes, and desires, is the root cause of human suffering. When we tie our happiness to what changes, we inevitably face pain because all worldly things are temporary. True peace comes from performing our duty sincerely, but without becoming emotionally dependent on success or failure. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means inner freedom. Being able to act lovingly, responsibly, and with full effort, but not being broken when results differ from our expectations. A student is asking a question. My heart is troubled. I love deeply. I work hard. I try to do everything right. Yet I feel hurt, disappointed, and restless. People change, results slip away, and I feel empty again. Why is there always pain in life, even when I try to be good? The Guru replies, your question is the same that Arjun asked Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The pain you feel is born from attachment to results, to people, to possessions, and even to your own image of yourself. A student is asking a question. Attachment. But isn't love and care what makes life meaningful? If I detach, won't I become cold, uncaring, or unmotivated? The Guru replies, there is a great misunderstanding between attachment and love. True love is pure, selfless, and freeing. Attachment is possessive, self centered, and binding. Love says, I wish you happiness. Attachment says, I want you to make me happy. Love gives freedom. Attachment demands control. When you when your peace depends on something outside you, you surrender your power to it. The Gita calls this bandhan, bondage. That bondage gives rise to dukh, suffering. A student is asking another question. So, the Gita teaches that to be free from suffering, I must give up all attachments. The Guru replies, not give up life, but give up clinging. Krishna does not say run away from the world. He says act in the world, but without being enslaved by it. In Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 2, verse 47, he tells Arjun, your right is to perform your duty, but never to the fruits thereof. That means you have the right to act with full heart and effort, but you do not control the outcome. When you tie your happiness to outcomes, disappointment becomes inevitable. But when you do your duty with sincerity, offering results to the divine, peace blossoms, regardless of success or failure. But if I don't care about results, won't I become lazy or irresponsible? The Guru replies, no. True detachment brings clarity, not laziness. When you act without fear or craving, your mind becomes steady, your effort becomes pure, and your results improve naturally. Attachment clouds judgment. It creates anxiety. What if I fail? What if I lose? Detachment gives focus. Let me do my best. The rest is not in my hands. This attitude transforms action into karma yoga, the path of selfless action. A student is asking another question. I think I understand, but why does attachment cause so much inner pain? The Guru replies, because attachment is built on illusion, the illusion of permanence. Everything in the material world changes. People grow, age, and move away. Wealth comes and goes, success fades with time. Even the body that carries you is temporary. Yet the mind, out of ignorance, avidya, clings to these changing things and cries when they shift. Just like a child who cries when the waves wash away a sand castle. The Gita says in chapter 2, verse 14, O son of Kunti, the contacts of the senses with their objects cause cold and heat, pleasure and pain. They come and go. They are impermanent. Endure them bravely, O Arjun. When you see that both joy and sorrow are passing waves, you stop drowning in them. You float above them in calm understanding. A student is asking another question. This seems very high and difficult. How can an ordinary person live in this world without attachment? The Guru replies, by living with awareness, gratitude, and trust. You see, detachment is not rejecting life, it is embracing it wisely. Be grateful for what comes. Do your best while it lasts. Accept with grace when it changes. Offer every action to the divine. This is Ishwar Pranidhan, surrendered to the higher will. When you make life an offering, even loss feels lighter because you know it was never truly yours. It belongs to the universe. A student is asking another question. So, suffering ends when I stop demanding that life go my way. The Guru replies, exactly. The root of suffering is the word mine. The root of suffering is the word mine. My success, my people, my image, my comfort. When the mind drops, what remains is peace. You still love, you still work, but now you do so in freedom, not in fear. This is why Krishna calls the wise person Sthit Pragya, one of steady wisdom. Such a person moves through pleasure and pain, gain and loss with equanimity. The Gita says in 2.56, he whose mind is not shaken by adversity, who does not crave for pleasure, who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, such a person is called a sage of steady wisdom. A student is asking another question. This truth feels liberating, but how do I begin? How do I actually practice detachment in daily life? The Guru replies, Start small. When you work, focus on the work, not the praise. When you love, give, don't cling. When you lose, grieve, but also let go. When you succeed, smile, but remain humble. Remember daily, this too shall pass. Meditate, reflect, and remind your heart that peace does not depend on the outside world. It comes from within, from your connection to the eternal self, Atman. When you anchor your joy in that self, no external storm can shake you. A student is asking another question. So, detachment is not coldness, but a higher warmth, love without fear. The Guru replies, yes, detachment is not the absence of love, it is pure love without possession. It is not the rejection of life, it is the acceptance of life as it is. It is not passivity, it is peaceful strength. Such a heart can love deeply and lose gracefully, work diligently and rest peacefully, carefully and yet remain serene. A student is asking another question. I now see attachment binds, detachment frees. Suffering is not in the world, but in the mind that clings. May I learn to live as you have taught, with love and freedom together. The Guru replies. That is the essence of the Gita. Act with all your heart, but offer the fruits to God. Love deeply, but do not bind anyone with that love. Enjoy life, but do not depend on it for happiness. Then you shall live in the world, yet remain untouched by it. Like the lotus that blooms in muddy water, but remains unstained. And that is true freedom. Now we come to the summary, the essence in simple words. Number one, attachment means emotional dependence, needing something to be a certain way to feel okay. Number two, suffering comes because everything in life changes. What we cling to eventually shifts or fades. Number three, the Bhagavad Gītā teaches detached involvement. Act fully, love fully, but let go of the results. Number four, detachment doesn't mean not caring. It means caring wisely without fear or control. Number five, freedom and peace come when we root our happiness not in outer things, but in the inner self, the unchanging spirit within. Guru continues. Motivational message for you. When you stop chasing what changes, you start resting in what is eternal. Work sincerely, love selflessly, live gracefully. This is the path of peace taught by Lord Krishna. Attachment binds you to sorrow. Detachment leads you to freedom. Hari Om.